You are listening to CMH EPC's Mocktail Hour Podcast. We host a Mocktail Hour once a month where we discuss various topics over cocktails. And for those who don't drink alcohol, mocktails. We are inclusive over here. Sip your favorite cocktail with us or try our featured cocktail as we dialogue. This is an environment to hear new and different perspectives. Everyone's thoughts, feelings, and opinions are valid to them, and in this space, we respect that. We're here! Oh God, shit's happening. I'm super excited. You guys have no idea. I can't wait to hear what comes out of the mouths of our guests today. All right, I would like to take a moment of appreciation for our guests today who have attended our monthly Mocktail Hour and are now here to share their thoughts and opinions with us. We have a number of topics to discuss. You never know what new perspectives you may hear. Today on the podcast, we have Marla. Marla is an up-and-coming actress/voice actress, a full-time caregiver, full-time state tax accountant, and a full-time human from Houston, Texas. A woman of many hats with a standing subscription to God's Strongest Warriors package, who mostly just wants a good nap. We also have Tina here, who is a native Houstonian and a dear friend of mine. As a general contractor in commercial construction and as a spoken word artist, she often refers to herself as an analytical thinker who loves to color outside the box. We also have Drew today, who is also a native Houstonian, who enjoys a good karaoke night and a strong cocktail. Now, I'm super excited because everybody here is from Houston. Represent the H. I'm here for it. H-Town goes down. All right, so our featured cocktail this month comes from one of my favorite bartenders, Kasha, over at Trash Panda Drinking Club. Today we are sipping her creation. She hasn't named it yet, but she told me I can call it the Courtnessy. It is Hennessy with passion fruit and lemon juice and a drop of vanilla. So let me know what you guys think about it. Like, I feel like we're already feeling it.
Yes, I am. I'm going on my third one now.
Well, it is cocktail hour, so there's that. Do you want to know how it ends?
Not necessarily.
How one ends?
You know, I knew I was way too busy whenever
the apocalypse.
Somebody was like, if they said the apocalypse was happening tomorrow, what would you do? I was like, I'd be relieved because that means I don't have nothing else to do. Like, I don't have to do none of that stuff. That's on my list. Task list over. I'm probably going to do some cocaine and jump off a building.
Wait, cocaine and then jump off a building?
Because I'm going to try to, see, the thing is, I can't live every day like I'm going to die the next because I'm going to die doing that because I'm going to want to do some stuff that I've never done before.
Oh, Lord. Okay,
Accurate.
That's a good way of thinking about
it.
Right. Okay.
Accurate.
Oh, man.
I never thought of it that way.
I got to live like tomorrow is happening otherwise.
Okay. So basically, if you knew that tomorrow was the end, what would you do today? Like all the shit that you always wanted to do but never done. So what would you do?
I've always wanted to do a lot of drugs. But like I said, I'm a logical person, so it's like, if I hit that pipe, I could like have a stroke and die. So if it was guaranteed, the scientists are like, yes, the meteorite is 250 miles away from Earth, it's going to hit us, and then the whole world's going to burn up in an hour anyway. Yeah, I'm going to hit that pipe.
Okay. I'm probably going to break some stuff. I'm not going to say that I would murder people legally for this podcast, but it might be the purge.
The purge.
Oh,
yeah.
She going to murder a lot of people, y'all. She
I mean,
got a
you
list.
can't kill that many people in 24 hours.
Wow.
Can you? AR-15s are a thing,
I have no idea.
Buy a couple of them hoes.
I have
and
no idea. I don't know anything about
you can get them
this.
as a regular civilian, so.
You can.
Yeah, a 14-year-old.
Somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Somehow can just
I don't know.
buy a bunch of them.
Be on and popping. I'll probably just take a nap.
Dude, there was some super armed gunmen that went to an HBCU recently, too. Which one? What HBCU was it?
I didn't hear about that one.
Some white boy went to an HBCU with, 2 or 3 AKs, handgun, shotgun, like all of this stuff. And then he got apprehended, though, before any...
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you didn't hear about it, because he got caught. Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
And
That's
whatever.
why you didn't hear about it.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, that too. Okay, hey. What HBCU?
Because they would have spent it. It would have been. They would have mentally deranged man. Because when they do stuff, it's mentally deranged.
Alleged.
Alleged.
Troubled.
He was a troubled youth. You
Mental
gotta understand.
health.
Like you go on his page and you find out he's an incel. Okay, just because women don't want you, don't mean that you gotta kill people.
Yeah, right.
Calm down.
Yeah.
It's part of life.
Boo.
That's why we have prostitutes.
Do I want to know how it ends? I don't want to know how it ends, but I feel like the end is coming soon. Whether it's Mother Nature being like, fuck y'all for fucking up this planet.
I am scared of that or concerned about what that's going to be. Go ahead.
Listen, okay, so let me tell you, one day I was, I decided to partake, and my Instagram algorithm showed me the fucking algorithm.
She said,
like a Jew right now. Yes, and so it showed me the rover on is it Mars?
Mars, yeah.
Mercury, Mars. Yeah, they both start with M. So I was like, interesting. And then I was able to see like the satellites that's like above Earth. And I'm like, it's crazy how you can see how the clouds are white in certain spots and it's just like brown in other spots. And I'm like, that's where the cities are and that's where the pollution is at. And I'm like, Mother Nature's going to be like, what is this happening to me? And it's going to drop out of orbit and we're going to go into a black hole and that's what's going to happen.
Wow, that went
in my
really
head.
dark.
That's dark.
So I'm like, it is going to be Mother Nature being like, I need to reset, right?
Yeah.
Or is going to be like an uprising of like the humans because
The Hunger Games.
You know what I'm scared of? Or I didn't mean to cut you off.
no,
I'm sorry. Are you done?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm concerned about like, and I say this with the utmost sensitivity, but
I'm scared.
Me too.
well, gender trend.
You forgot? Wait, did you forget what's happening?
What's happening? Gender what?
Transgendered people.
Okay.
And then I've heard on like 104 KRBE, and they were talking about they did some tests on some lab rats where 2 male rats did procreate, and so
What?
and so I imagine that
How is that
now,
possible?
100 years from now, or sooner or later, that humans will be adopting these scientific practices, and so can we imagine a world where 2 same-sex people procreate without
A penis and a vagina.
But how
without
is that
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, through science that's happening, and I just wonder what then happens to their offspring. Not just
I'm gonna have to get another drink.
and the offspring and the offspring and the offspring and the offspring. So you're gonna look up one day and I don't know. Or just
I mean, is that something that's like similar to inbreeding though? Like,
Well, no, not really, because I mean, hopefully you're not fucking your cousin
no.
or
but,
in a relationship with your cousin.
like, how do you
But
get
even
two
I feel like
or
even
two-
at this, the way humans are going, I think everything gonna be normal.
Well, yeah, I
At
can
some
see that.
point,
I
some
know.
shit that's just taboo will be normal.
It will
But
be
How long has that been taboo? Because I know them royal families.
Oh, baby, they've been incestuous. You're gonna
Yeah.
marry your first cousin. I'm like, can we at least get the 5th or the 6th?
damn.
Like, you want my baby to come out with a fucking hand on their head? Like,
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't know, y'all. I'm just saying. I'm concerned with the human race in time. How the end is gonna be, or
Yeah.
do you want to know how it's gonna be in the end? I'm wondering what the human species is gonna look like in the end.
We're gonna kill ourselves
if
off.
we
That's
even
it.
make
Yeah,
it to
probably.
that, 'cause
Right?
climate change, and
All that.
You know,
again.
how do I put this? I don't care
Yeah.
about how the human race ends because I'm like,
don't either.
I'm going through shit right now, and it's like, when I'm dead and gone, like it's fun. Okay, so full disclosure, I am a gay man. Oh no! So it's one of the things where like everybody's like, "What about your kids?" I'm like, "Well, not having those, so I mean, you can't have no ass babies." You know, that's not happening.
Ass baby.
And then my sister, like I came out like very early on when coming out was not the thing, and like how you were saying, everything is becoming not so taboo. Because like when I came out in the '90s, it was like, oh, you're going to hell, oh, da, 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 da. And so like I went to my high school like maybe a couple of years ago. Everybody's gay.
Bruh.
Everybody's fucking bisexual or trisexual,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I hate being like I would like to think I was progressive before progressive was progressive, but now I feel like I'm regressive. Is that what it is? Like because I'm like I really feel like there's some things that should be at a certain parameter, and I'm like I'm all for experimenting. Hey, whatever. But when you're trying to push things on people, like the whole transgender thing, I'm not transgendered, but again, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. But my thing is that because I know a couple of transgender people, but they're cool.
I do too.
They're cool with it. But the ones who are like, my pronouns are this, day, and that, I'm like, sir,
that part. Come on.
I'm in my 40s. Like, my memory ain't all that good. I got a dick, so I say he, him, whatever. Yeah. If you got a dick, you, he, I don't know. if you got a dick and titties, she bitch? I don't know.
I mean, there is a term for that, right?
Yeah.
Like, is it? I don't know.
But it's the thing of them
I'm still learning non-binary. Like, I'm still learning these. It's a lot of terms these days.
And it's the thing of, like,
people can identify.
Be who you want to be, but you're not going to get, everybody's not going to agree with you. And I feel like in today's society, it's like they're trying to force it on people who are not. Like, it's like, okay, I'm letting you live your life, but you stay over there.
Yeah.
But they're like, I want to stay over here, but I want to come in your life too, and I want to tell. And I'm like,
tell you what to do, and tell you what to call me, and tell you how to think of me.
Yeah, and see, again, I'm a part of that. Like, my parents were like, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do in your life. Not everybody's gonna like you, and those people that are not here for you, you just say, okay, it is what it is. Moving on, da da da. But it's the like, fuck you. You gonna call me this? And I was like, no, bitch, I'm not gonna call you that. And ain't nobody gonna ain't nobody gonna move me. You know, it's like, and so it's, and then I run into this whole thing, like how you saying you were in South Dakota. I lived in Arkansas for a couple of years, and you know them racist bastards, Lord Jesus. And and a lot of people don't understand how the white gay community is totally different from the colored. You know, colored. You know, from the black gay community, because my whole thing is like we have to go through so much more. And I tell people, I'm a black man first before I'm a gay man. And so this white man did not understand that, because when I moved to Arkansas, it was around Pride time. He was like, "Oh, we're having this Pride parade. You got to come down." I was like, "No, I'm gonna miss that." And he's like, "Why?" I was like, "I don't believe in this shit. I don't even go to Pride here.
I don't either. I don't wear rainbows and all that." But anyway, go on.
You know, I don't understand it. I was like, because at the end of the day, like it's. Your the way you've lived your life and the way your experiences in your life have happened molds the way you see things. And I was like, especially here where like I know the parade's gonna be like 90% white. Like, you know, gay white men, they live in their whiteness before they live in their gayness any day of the month or year or second or whatever. And so I had to explain that to him. I was like, no, I won't be going to that. And he's like, why? I was like, because I'm a black man first. And he's like, what's that got to do with anything?
It's everything to do with everything.
And that's what I tell people. And then a lot of people tell me, well, I would have never known you were gay unless you told me. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But I still am. But again, my blackness trumps the gayness any day. Because at the end of the day,
if a cop sees you, he's seeing your color. He ain't seeing your.
Oh, that faggot. We're going to get that faggot. We're going to kill that faggot. Get that faggot. No, they're going to say, get the nigga. Look at that nigga right there.
Right there, yeah.
And they'll say, which one's way more? Take a nigga. I'm going to go to nigga Bob. But, you know. And so that's why, like, a lot of my perspectives, because, you know, I'll go to Montrose and everything like that. And, you know, you have all these people, like, it's the whole thing. Do they think you all think the same?
Yeah.
I'm like, we don't all think the same, and I don't expect other people to think like me. And so when I tell them, like, I don't follow that whole transgender thing. Hey, if you want to transition, that's your business. But you got to understand that people are not gonna go with that, and if people ain't gonna go with that, just like when I came out, my mom was like, I just hate that you're gonna, like, she's like, you know, it's the whole, you're already a black man. Why are you choosing to be gay? And I was like, well, if it was a choice.
If it was a choice.
Right. Like, because I see some fine ass big titty bitches around here all the time. Now, not necessarily, I'll look at them, they like I've had girls come up to me, so they're like, this don't attract you, and they pull their titties out in front of me, and I'm like,
God. Why did they ever do that to me?
I'm like, and I'm like, I say your titties are nice, they're very asymmetrical, they're very, you know, lifted, and they're about the same, one's not bigger than the other, and all like that, but I'm like, it doesn't do anything for me.
We gotta go out sometime.
It doesn't do anything for me.
Molly, you want to be a sidekick?
She wants titties in her face.
I guess, I don't know.
Titties in my face. I ain't got no words.
No worries, right? Now, I'd like anything in my face at this point. I've been single for a while, single and not mingling.
I was like, you gotta be kind of pointed of what you mean by anything, because you know somebody puts them in your face now.
Listen, I've had everything in my face. I'm not even gonna lie, I've had everything in my face.
Oh.
Everything I do, I try to master it and perfect it. Ooh, I might not have done certain things in a while, but I have done them.
Boom shakalaka.
Well, my spirit is crying out.
Oh.
I am
feeling my alcohol.
Yes.
Good.
I've been feeling my alcohol this entire motherfucking podcast.
I am impressed with your intake.
Welcome to Cocktail Hour, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
my lantern.
and it's not.
He's like a
But
tall
see, this is-
dude,
You
and,
are,
like,
yeah.
all the-
I'm petite. You
Yeah.
know, it don't
But
take much.
my perspective, like I said, it's from my upbringing. I was born and raised in Fifth Ward. I still live in Fifth Ward.
Okay.
All my cousins are hood niggas.
Okay.
So it's like I couldn't go in there. Hey guys, how are you? Like, and they're like, "Say it with your chest, bitch," and they hit me in my chest. I'm like, "Oh, okay." You know. So like, when I meet like prissy gay dudes, I'm like, oh. I say, oh, so you lived a soft life.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I do think that there has to be some really strong backbone for any gay person.
Oh yeah.
Especially a black gay person
Yeah.
in America, especially prior to the normalcy of this LGBTQIA plus, right? When by the time you had all them extra, because it was just gay at one point,
Yeah, it was gay.
sweet or not, gay
Queer.
not.
You got a little sugar in your tank, boy.
You know,
Got a little
sugar,
sugar in
you
your
know,
tank.
a little sweet, you know, hold on. You know, that was it. Everybody was gay. You know, and now is all this differentiation and all these, you know, segregated, no, I'm
No,
transgender.
no. And like
I
you
am.
said, it is segregated. It's very much
But
segregated.
yeah, you had to have a strong backbone and a strong mind. You know, I work for a lesbian white lady who still rocks a mullet. So you see her, right? Like you know.
Okay,
her,
I already got a
what's
big
happening? Okay.
And I'm
Does she got a big wide ass?
Bruh,
That's flat.
Stop.
and she big. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you, my coworkers will not hear this.
Okay.
She's not sharing it with
I
them.
pray to God they never hear this. But but yeah, you know. But I look at her. I mean, she's tough. She's tough as the nails, and she speaks aggressively. Now she was born naturally with a deep voice, so it's that. You know what I mean? Like she's just very butch, and off-putting a little bit. But what I do admire is the strength, though, to know who you are in a time and in a work environment that does not necessarily embrace or appreciate your personality, who you
Your
are.
personal, the
You know what I
personal,
mean?
and I feel like things should be in business, especially.
In business especially.
Your personal should be personal. How what you do in your business life should be counted.
Exactly. The
And-
value you bring to the table should be the only
Yeah.
thing of merit and what was considered. And
But that's not
for
the
her to
society we
still
live in,
be,
unfortunately.
but she's also white. So like,
Oh, child. Why you say-
well, it's a mullet. I said a mullet.
Well,
No, come on. I said a mullet.
I done seen the
Mullets are coming
Hispaniolas.
back. They got
The
some wig
Hispaniolas,
mullets.
they had the wig mullets.
Yeah,
You haven't heard of the wig mullets?
No,
They've been on TikToks. They've been cutting wigs into
I'm
mullets.
not that kind of homosexual. I don't follow the wig trend.
It's not even a homosexual thing. It's just that's just what they're doing now.
I can't with the TikToks.
The TikToks.
Listen,
the
okay,
TikToks.
y'all heard apparently there's a new challenge on TikTok where the children are trying, it's a new challenge where they are trying to write their name without lifting their pen from the paper.
What?
Exactly.
Like magic?
like cursive.
She goes, like magic?
Cursive.
They don't teach cursive
They
in
don't
school
teach cursive
anymore.
anymore.
Yeah, because
And
everything's on
and now
keyboards
it's
and
a
shit.
challenge on TikTok.
It's a cursive is a challenge.
to write your name
that was a
without lifting your
grade
pen from
in
the paper.
elementary school.
Insane. Insane. This is where we're going as a society. Like, that's why I'm like,
So,
wow.
are people actually trying to do this?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
So what you
TikTok
trying?
challenge.
What you trying to just take the paper and write suicide ways with the paper?
I don't
You
know.
just keep your pen down and you don't lift it and try to write your name. But they were
Oh,
not
you
taught.
mean like?
Yes,
Oh,
Right.
because they
Yes.
weren't taught cursive.
weren't
taught
taught
cursive, so now it's a that's sad.
it's a challenge now for them.
So I'm concerned about my retirement when I'm old and can't
I'm
quite
ending
think
it.
straight,
Sign I appeal for me.
and I'm dependent on these young Gen Z
I
people
refuse.
to write reforms and whatever for my benefit. Like
Oh, no, they're
I
not.
think I'm a little
It's gonna be
So I'm like,
wild.
it's gonna
Y'all
end
bitches
soon.
can't write
Like, it's
cursive.
gonna end soon.
They're gonna be like, you
I
know
think that's
what?
gonna be my statement. What? What you want
What?
me to do?
Okay.
Can you write cursive? Do you know what that is?
What they gonna do is like anybody 70 and over, we gonna give you a cyanide pill. I'll gladly take it at this point.
At this
And
point,
I'll take
yeah,
that
you
point.
know, I can't. I don't know.
yeah, because it's one thing. It's so nice to be blessed and live for a long time, but you're gonna see a lot of things. All your friends gonna die.
Yeah.
Like,
And I wonder, my grandpa, grandma, I wonder what all have they seen.
Oh,
I'm 40, and I've
lot.
seen, I don't know, just from Nintendos to digital stuff, right? Or like from cars with cigarette lighters in them. Y'all remember that? Like cars don't get cigarette lighters no more. Ain't even no CD players in the thing no more, right? Like in cars. So like to see just how we've progressed in my short, I say 40 years is short. The next 40, hopefully if I live that long, I wonder how much more I'll see. And
tomfoolery.
Yeah, I just wonder.
Fuckery.
I really wonder what life is going to be like.
Well, I feel like every generation is probably concerned about the generation underneath them because, you know, people in their 60s, they are panicking or they simply just do not care about anything happening. Like, oh, we going to call them what they were when they were born. And that's it. Because I think as you get older, you know, the concerns get different. And at a certain point, you just don't care at all about anything.
At all.
And so what are the kids doing? It don't even matter. Clarence, we gonna die soon anyway.
Clarence.
So,
oh, you may not. That's the thing. You know, it's funny that you say that. Okay. So, at my job, there's the FedEx lady who delivers her packages, and I go out there and have a conversation with her and everything like that. And she's going through it with her father because her father has like early stages of dementia. So it's like he will see people that he has not seen in like fucking 50 years because he's 80. He's 80. Wow. He'll see people he hasn't seen in 50 years. He knows them like I saw your ass yesterday, but he hasn't talked to them in like years. But then he like looks at people that he just talked to the day before, and she's like, and it's not there. He looks at them like, yeah, and all that kind of stuff. And so I asked her, I was like, how are you handling it? She's like, this is out of the territory because he's the only sibling that's still alive. Because all his other siblings died in their like 50s and 60s.
Oh wow.
And so I looked at her and I was like, so friend, how are you handling that? And she's, because I said, well, me, my dad died in 97 at 55. My mom just died in 2020. She was 64. So, like I said, I take the logical approach. I'm like, I may got another, I'm 41, about to be 42. I was like, maybe I got another 20 years. And people are like, oh, don't say that, Drew. I was like, no, I'm being realistic. If you go by how long your parents live, I'm trying to be right in the middle. So maybe I'll get to like 62, 63.
I hope not, bro.
You know, if it's longer. But my thing has always been that if I lose my faculties to take care of myself, just take me out. Because I've always been an independent person.
If you lose your what?
Faculties.
Faculties.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Just take me out. Like if I can't shit on my own, if you gotta come here and wipe my ass, I don't want to be no grown ass man. And it's and my mom used to tell me that. My mom used to tell me that because she was like, you know what? She called me Andrew because she doesn't bling nicknames. She's like, Andrew, you don't know what you're going to have to go through. And I said, you know what, Mom? I say, you're right. But I pray to the good Lord every night. If I can't do shit for myself, please, Lord, just take me home. Take me into your bosom. Please.
Go ahead. Sorry. Isn't that what a living will is? Or yeah.
I was saying, do you have that?
I don't know that you could request that.
Do not resuscitate.
Well, yeah, you can do that, but I mean, I've seen some things with the body, and our body will just go on and on and on
and on, and you just
on, right?
And I mean, your scientists can tell you that, oh no, he doesn't feel anything. Oh no, but you're not the person who's going through it.
You don't know. You don't know what they're feeling.
And you know, like I've had aunts who like they had cancers and stuff like that, and I saw like my aunt, she was a bad diabetic. My mom's sister. She was a bad diabetic. She went in to have a surgery because she wouldn't do right. She had both her legs taken, and now they had started working her arm because they like took a couple of fingers off.
Oh my God!
And they were going to take her hand off, and when they went to take the hand off, she had a stroke in the surgery.
Oh my God!
And so to see her there, and it's like you knew she was gone, and she was on life support, and so my cousin had to make the decision to take his mom off life support. And I was like, that wouldn't have been a problem for me because I'm like, I don't want my parents, let alone myself, to go through that. And I said, you know, I can say that both my parents, they died in their sleeps. Like, so, and so people go through things with their parents. And I'm like, I don't understand that because my dad, he went to sleep, had a heart attack in his sleep. My mom went to sleep. She just didn't wake up. My sister came over because me and my mom lived together. She came over, she went back there. And she's like, yeah, Mama's not waking up. And I go back there and I touched her. She was ice cold. So I was like, okay, we'll call 911. And she's losing her shit. I started losing like, I'm not a normal person, as you know. Like, when it comes to, like, sympathetic shit like that, I'm like...
You're not reactive.
I'm normally not non-reactive. But it was my mom. So, yeah, I lost my shit in that instance for, like, 30 minutes. And then I got it back together. And and to this day, I still haven't cried. And everybody's like, oh, but that was your mom. And my mom knew me more than I knew myself because she was like, what you gonna do when I'm dead? And I was like, huh? And she's like, you know what? Never mind. She's like, I ain't worried about your ass. You gon' it's gonna be a Tuesday for you. And I was like, no, it's not.
Tuesday.
Yeah, because she's like, you're so like nonchalant and you're so non-reactive. She's like, you've been like that since you were a little kid. Since like I could see your personality, things have not fazed you. Now my sister, on the other hand, she was all over the place.
Mess.
She was a mess. And so my mom was like, yeah, when I go, you need to console your sister. She's like, I know it's gonna be hard for you because you're not that type of person.
Yeah.
And I see where she been, because one time she called me and she was on the phone and she was like, yeah, well, it's been about a month and a half since mom left us. And I looked and I said, something snapped in me. And I said, look, sis, I love you, but when you call me, you need to say it in your chest. I need you to be upbeat, because this bullshit here, you're not finna drag me down. I'm good. And then she's like, well, yeah, I understand that. I said, so if you can't call me with some little pep in your step, don't call me at all. And then she was like, oh, wow, okay. And she didn't call me again until because I told her, I was like, our mother prepared us for this. It's not like she just went on but she was like, y'all need to, she's like, because a lot of things that parents will stop their children from doing, she didn't stop us from doing. She was like, go ahead and do it. Because she understood, like, I need to know that you can go on without me.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times parents nowadays, they don't want their kids to go through what they went through, but they need to go through that shit. And that's why I've been telling my coworker, like, her kids are all like grown. Like, her last one just went off to college. She's a freshman in college. And I was like, you need to let her. And she's like, but it hurts me so much, Drew. And I was like, bitch, get over that shit.
I mean, you become the person that you are based on like what life has thrown your way and how you handled it. And if you shield your children from that, then when they grow up, they be the pansies that we have today.
Exactly. Right? And oh my God, I have to get, oh my God. Like my nephew don't like talking to me, because my sister still has this remorse or this guilt that she made him a single parent child.
Oh God.
Because now she sees, she's like, I chose the guy that I chose, and I knew he wasn't shit from the get go, and da 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 da. And so she babies the fuck out. This dude is about to be 15. He's already a little bit. He's right here. I'm 6'2". This motherfucker already 6 feet. We're a size 13. Wow. And every time I have him, I'm like, nigga, I don't know what you gonna do. You better figure it out.
Right.
Like, some dude is bullying him in school, and I said, bruh, until you like mollywop that motherfucker, he gonna keep bothering you. But he's like very studious, and he's this motherfucker, like I said, he's very good in math and science. And it's like, I don't want to corrupt him like that, because I'd had to mollywop a motherfucker in my day, especially. Middle school, they were like, oh, you a faggot or something. I was like, before you're like, no. But then when I realized, I'm like, okay, yeah, I am.
Yeah, and
then when I started doing that, and they started, then I'll mollywop them in their throat. They like, I'm sorry, my bad. And so I told them, I said, until you stand up for yourself, they're going to keep bothering you, because we live in a society where people would rather film than intervene.
Yes, we do.
And so he's like, he's straight A student. He's like, he goes to McLeland Preparatory, right on lines, and he's like, I'm about to leave this school because it's not challenging him enough. He wants to go to a Vanguard school now. I'm like, oh, excuse me, pardon me.
Right.
Okay.
But this dude is bothering him, and he has the wherewithal to understand that if I retaliate against this boy, it's gonna go on my permanent record. Because he's like, he told me, he's like, Uncle Drew, I thought about dropping this motherfucker. And I was like, he's like, but I understand that if I do that, I'm going to get suspended, and it's going to be on my permanent record, and da-da-da. And I said, nephew, I appreciate you for understanding that, because I said, a lot of motherfuckers don't give a fuck.
Wait, is this why back in the day at school it was like, catch me outside? Like I'll see you after school? Because if it doesn't happen on school grounds, then he can't get suspended.
That's what I told him. I said, drag his ass outside in the middle of the lines and beat that motherfucker
exactly.
ass.
After school is not involved. Listen.
I said, he got to leave the school, right? He's like, yeah. I said, well, follow his creep up on that motherfucker. Yo, bitch.
Listen,
that's it.
Just
that's
like
all you
that.
gotta do. I said, just don't do it on school promises.
Exactly. Like, let me tell you, my mother, she said that her father told her and her brothers and sisters when they were younger, you get in a fight in school, you better win. Don't come home and you done lost.
Because I'm gonna drag your ass back up there, and we gonna call that motherfucker back out.
You're gonna learn your lesson today, okay? Now, I'm not about violence, but I'm about defending yourself. Though.
And that's what I told him. I was like,
I'm about violence.
At the end of the day, and I told him, I said, I understand where you're coming from, because you know how it is. If you go, we're past that age of going to the principal and the principal handling it.
Yeah, no.
They can't do shit these days.
Exactly. They can't do shit. And then not only that.
Exactly. It's a problem.
And even not that, I said, then you're going to be seen by your peers as, oh, you a snitch bitch. And I said, unfortunately, but I said, unfortunately, I said, yeah, that's worse than getting your ass beat. That's just calling that motherfucker out. And even if you start initiate the fight and getting your ass beat, at least you fought.
Yes.
You know, but you go to the principal. I said, but I told him, I said, nephew, I said, I understand you're in a conundrum. I said, get that bitch off school premises first of all. And I said, but like the times that I've gotten into fights in middle school, high school, is because somebody thought they could punk me because they thought I was a punk. I may be a punk, but I ain't no motherfucking punk. And so they would come up to me and they were like, oh, and they tried me, and I was like, try me, bitch, and I end up. But this was the 90s.
The 90s.
Yeah.
So like. People will go until okay, well he started and then you were scot free.
But now you good. Once you had one fight, one little moment, but you prove yourself. Oh,
but now it's zero tolerance. So everybody, and so that's what my nephew's worried about because, like I said, he has the wherewithal to understand that he's young and he has a whole fucking future.
Yeah.
Me when I got in them fights, I wasn't thinking about the future. I wasn't even thinking about the next minute.
Listen.
No, I was thinking about the next minute. I was thinking about how can I beat this motherfucker ass this next minute. To make him understand that I mean business.
Yeah.
But see, my nephew not thinking like that, but which I'm glad he's not, because there's things beyond that point.
He sounds like a fine gentleman.
He's very fine, and that's why I told my sister, I was like, you know what? Even though I thought your ass was batshit crazy, I said you have done very good with my nephew.
That's good. As a single mom.
As a single mom, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take two. Because you can have two parents and still be like real messed up.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Period.
Come on. Marta got gems.
That's because I've had a life that I've
gem.
had.
That's
Yeah,
because you're not drinking.
I know. No, she drinking, but she drinking this vegan shit, y'all. It's some
having
vegan
two
shit.
She's vegan,
parents
man.
led me to drink excessively. That's why I say having two parents is not, especially if you have two parents that they did their best, but their best was not good enough or what I needed.
Yeah.
So it just turned out pretty terribly for everybody involved. And I know it's not just me because my brother, he a little messed up too. So,
But you know, this is what I like. Okay, so like, my dad was a Marine, and he always knew I was gonna be a punk.
Punk. Why you punk?
He knew it. It's like
that big
like
boy accent.
Child, he was from Louisiana.
Okay.
Like I said, because he was a Marine. He was like, I ain't raising no punk. I ain't doing all this stuff. And I was like, I didn't know what a fucking punk was back in the day. 'Cause I was like 14, and so like, by him being so hard on me, like I think that's what helped me get through a lot of things in life because you know me and my dad. Like when he died in his sleep. My mom come back there. Oh, your daddy did it, and I was like, I went back to sleep because that's how much animosity I had for the man. But it wasn't until like I got close to 30 and I realized he was a product of his environment because his dad, he didn't like his dad. He couldn't stand the man.
How long was it between when he passed away to when you realized that he was a product of his environment?
Approximately 10, 15 years.
10, 15. Mine was 5.
Because I was 16 when he died, and I got his name tattooed on my arm right here. And when I got this tattoo, my mom was like, what the fuck? What's that? Because she knew how, like the man could get hit by a bus in the middle of the road. And I was like, oh, well, okay, yeah. But it wasn't until I realized that, you know, he was born in 42. My dad would have been like 82 if he was still alive. And you think about that because you think about generations. Like in his time, like it was the man went out and worked, the woman stayed home with the kids, If you came home, beat ass, It wasn't, you know, women went through a lot of shit back in the day. And he didn't like his father because of that reason, because he would beat on his mom. And and then of course, you know, me growing up and all like that, and then he realized that, okay, well, Drew's not hitting the milestones, you know, he's at the age where he's supposed to like titties and pussy. And I don't.
The milestones.
Yeah, you know, you like because he would ask me questions like when I was elementary. He's like, "Oh, you got a girlfriend yet?" I'm like, "No."
Ew.
I'm like,
elementary.
But you know, is it a girl? You know how he like, "Oh, that's my girlfriend." Yeah. You know, just playing around. And then when I got in middle school, he was like, it was very much like, "So, you talking to anybody?" And I'm like, "No." But he's like, "There's no girl that got your piquing your interest?" And I'm like, "No, not at all." And then I got in high school. Because remember, he died when I was 16, so I was in 11th grade. And he's like, so you not going to get a girlfriend? And I was like, I'm not interested. And then that's when he kind of peaked, because he had a cousin who was like flamboyantly gay, like over the top gay. And then that's when, but rather than him saying, well, is there a dude? He was like, well, I ain't raising no punk now, so you better not be no punk.
Oh, he knew.
Oh, he knew.
He knew. Yeah. Parents know.
They do. My mom.
Even though when I told my mom, she was like, I had no idea.
Oh,
and I was like,
Yeah, you did.
Okay, Mom. Well, this conversation was getting too good, so this will be continued next week. Tune in. I want to thank you guys for giving your time today and for sharing your thoughts and opinions on the various topics discussed. To our listeners, grow your community and take a moment to like, subscribe, and or follow our guests on their respective platforms. If you want the people to follow you, you can tell them now where to follow you at.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm Marla Joy, and that's Joy with an I because my aunt thought I should be special, and I am. So it's MarlaJoi.
On which platform?
Instagram.
Instagram. I am Tina B. Poetry, spelled nice and regular, Tina, the letter B, Poetry, and that's on all social media platforms.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat.
Actually,
Twitter.
I say all, but again, going back to our last little conversation about social media, I'm on Instagram, Facebook.
I don't want to play no more.
And maybe TikTok. Don't go there. Just go to Instagram and Facebook.
I don't want to play no more.
You can find me everywhere else. Start on Instagram.
I'm going home. It's over. Okay, I'm on Instagram, Drewston.Texas. DREWSTON.TX.
Drewston. That's a dope name.
That.
That's dope. Drewston.
Okay, better represent the H.
But I haven't posted shit in there in a while because, like I said, my mama dead.
Okay.
My name is Drew. I'm just a member of Earth. You
Earth,
can find me on Earth.
I'm on Earth.
In Houston, Texas. And we would like to meet you at our next Mocktail Hour. You can register to save your seat on www.cmhepc.com/register. And I hope to see you there. If you're a local in the Houston, Texas area, we'd like to meet you in person at our next Mocktail Hour. It is every last Sunday of the month. Visit CMHEPC on Facebook or Instagram, or go to our website, www.cmhepc.com, for more details.